Hey everyone, welcome back to Installation 00, and today we kick off a brand new series called the Cartographer. Here we will look at significant places across the Halo universe, and as with all journeys, we start this one from home. Earth, Humanities Home World. Although it is the cradle of life for humanity, it still, even to this day, harbours secrets vast beyond imagining, lost to memory over the eons that have passed and the cataclysms that have befallen her. A rich, vibrant and fertile world, the planet sits as the third terrestrial planet of its solar system from its parent star, while the solar system itself drifts through the outer edges of the Orion Cygnus arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Although the planet has over 4.5 billion years of history, the most significant era of its preeminent species happened in the most recent 1 million years. In keeping with our modern understanding of the fossil record, humanity evolved on the plains of Africa and quickly spread across the planet. Our adaptability and high intelligence being our most valuable tools, enabling us to acclimatise to almost every corner of the planet and begin using its resources for our own gain. However, rather than this happening approximately 150,000 years before the Common Era, or BCE, it actually took place nearly 1.5 million years BCE. The precursors, an enigmatic and powerful race of transsentient beings, played a hand in the evolution of humanity on Earth, seeding life and nurturing humanity in its infancy, lending credence to the idea that humanity and our intelligence and separation from the natural order are a consequence of design rather than accident. At some point around 1,100,000 BCE, humanity became a spacefaring civilization and began sporadically settling isolated colonies across the Orion arm of the galaxy. At various points over the coming eons, humanity would suffer various technological dark ages, isolating pockets of humanity on their various colonies, losing memory and record of their origin and history in the process. Only around 150,000 BCE did humanity rise to preeminence and rediscover their origins and history, bringing focus back to Earth. Earth would once again play nearly sole host to humanity when the species were forcibly devolved as a punishment following a galaxy-spanning conflict with the Forerunners, something of cousins to humanity, having been seeded by the precursors at the same time as humanity themselves. Humanity were once again hunter-gatherers and resident to the plains of Africa as they were over 1 million years before. As a consequence of this devolution, the forgotten history of humanity and the absence of any other evidence, modern humanity believed this to be the indication that humanity in fact evolved around this time on Earth, as opposed to the million years and more that they actually did. Following this return to origins, Earth and all sentient species on her surface would shortly thereafter suffer the effects of the Halo Array firing at the close of the Forerunner Flood War. While this would herald the end of the war and seemingly end the threat of the Flood and the Forerunners with it, this would also wipe out all life across the galaxy, leaving no trace except a tiny aberration in the fossil and carbon record of Earth, pointing to the mass extinction of life, an anomaly which would come to be known as the Ross-Ziegler blip, leaving Earth a fertile but otherwise sterile and silent world. A conservation measure was put in place by a particularly brilliant forerunner by the name of Librarian that would see the receding of all life on Earth and in truth most of the galaxy. Earth would once again be graced with life. Humanity would rise once more, spreading across Earth and pushing the planet's ecosystem to breaking point on more than one occasion. Humanity would ultimately organise their affairs and relent this torturous hold on Earth, allowing the planet to somewhat recover. Humanity would continue to build and develop and spread out across the Orion Arm once more, colonising some 800 worlds, and calling these new worlds home. On Earth, humanity would build huge cities and existed somewhat in harmony with the planet, until once again, death and destruction would be brought to the planet by an enemy of humanity. The Covenant, a religious hegemony of alien species, had waged a holy war on Earth's most successful species. After nearly 30 years of war and pushing humanity back colony by colony, they had finally found Earth. Contrary to the Covenant's previous modus operandi, they opted not to glass the planet entirely, but instead focused on uncovering an ancient Forerunner construct that had remained buried and forgotten under the African savanna for over 1,000 lifetimes. This construct was a slipspace portal of impressive size and power. Upon activating the portal, the Covenant fleet entered the portal, pursued by the united forces of humanity and Sangheili. The Human-Covenant War ended on the other side of that portal. The Ark, a massive extragalactic construct of Forerunner design, played host to the final chapter of the war, but its own influence would reach back to Earth 2 years later. After the portal failed at the close of the war, human scientists discovered a countdown to the activation of the Halo Array, with its point of origin being the Ark. Renewed interest in the Ark portal was born of desperation to disactivate this countdown, and after prolonged efforts and the help of a Hurugok, the portal once again sparked to life. Earth was nearly immediately set upon by Retriever Sentinels, massive Forerunner machines designed to harvest raw materials to aid in the rebuilding of the Ark's surface after its damage at the close of the Human-Covenant War. Efforts were successful at stopping the countdown. However, the emergence of the Guardians and the now metastable Cortana activated the portal's failsafe measure and shut the portal down once more. Soon after, a Guardian, another form of Forerunner automaton, arrived via its own slipspace rift in orbit above Earth, and nearly immediately activated its most powerful and devastating weapon. The EMP pulse rippled across Earth, rendering nearly all human technology completely unusable, forcing the surviving human population back to the pre-industrial era. The fate of Earth and the life teeming upon it is unclear at this time, but it is certain that Humanities Home World will yet play a pivotal role over the emerging events playing out across the galaxy. Earth will remain a centre point of activity, both positive and negative, for as long as humanity still breathe. Thanks for watching. Stick your comments down below. I look forward to what you have to say. I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons Neek the Silent Cartographer, Brian, Sebastian, Red Sea, Darian, Stalker of the Realms, Falcon X003, Alvin, Mr. Fell, Flaming Halo, The Revanche, Starlight, Viking, Legions Lost, the TG7, TJ Jazz, The Holders of the Mantle, my glorious Reclaimers, my loyal Metarchs, and all the other patrons that have jumped aboard to support the channel. You guys are awesome, and all this wouldn't be possible without you. If you like Halo lore discussed to insane levels of detail, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon so you're told the second a new video hits the shelves. Be sure to support us on all major social media channels, including Discord, and if you really love the channel, consider heading over to Patreon and supporting the channel over there. It would mean the world to me and would free up more of my time for me to put into this content and other Halo related goodness. Take it easy everyone, and find peace in the domain.